Before you continue this video, please go subscribe to Real aka Mark for the literally best theories in the community. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Now today I'm here with a very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
What's up guys? Thank you, Nathan. Real here, Mark, whatever you want to call me.
How are you, bro?
I'm great. A little tired, but good.
Okay, good. Ready to sort of discuss some Dragon Ball here.
Always.
Now the main premise of this discussion is to talk about one line in Battle of Gods, and you might be perplexed. You might be saying, one line? Like, is that it? Like, Nathan, are you running out of ideas? Like, what is this, bro? But no, this is very important in my opinion. So in Battle of Gods, especially the English dub, there was one line said by Goku towards the end of the movie, and that was, "I will not let you destroy my world." And now the original Japanese version was saying along the lines of, you know, "Do not destroy destruction," or, you know, whatever you said. Now Mark, do you feel like "I will not let you destroy my world" is it too superhero-like? Do you think Funimation was trying to sort of go back to that casual audience that grew up in the 90s and saw Goku as Japanese Superman? Like, what do you think that line was supposed to represent?
Definitely, I would have to agree with you on that point. I feel like, obviously, especially with the original Dragon Ball Z movies, you know, the original 13, not the last two that we've had, even in the Japanese version, Goku was very much more of a superhero than he was in the show. So maybe they were going off of that and treating it like a movie instead of an extension to the canonized version of Dragon Ball Z. But at the same time, I feel like I kind of somewhat agree with you that they were trying to take that line and make it, I guess, you know, accessible to the audience that grew up with it and would go see it in theaters and just gush over how amazing that scene is. I mean, just like the breakdown and fight that happens after that, going, you know, the original Super Saiyan, just like the Super Saiyan 1 form, although I guess you can make an argument that he's Super Saiyan 2, but obviously he looks like he's Super Saiyan 1, I think. And I feel like that like just breakdown, it works in the dub, it works in the sub, but in my opinion it works so much better in the dub. And that really could be because I grew up with the dub, and oh man, before we go on with this, I just want to say, and please tell us in the comment section below if you believe this or you thought the same thing, but watching that in theaters back in 2014, just, you know, freaking blushing, like kind of tears coming to the eyes, like this is what I grew up with, this is why I love Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball in general, and I just, oh man, you know, just reinvigorating the entirety of my childhood with that particular scene. Not that the whole movie wasn't great, but that scene made it one of the best theater experiences I've ever had.
Definitely. I am so envious that you saw it in cinemas, but well, but I digress. But it's, I don't know, I find it really weird. Like, it's really awesome, it's a really awesome line, but does it sort of blur the line between the dub character, like the old character of Goku, sort of the Japanese Superman, and the newer sort of Japanese, you know, style of like Goku that the English dub is trying to replicate? Because like in that movie, sort of the English actors, they sort of ham it up, they're a bit over the top than they are in Kai, and I think that was because it was sort of a reunion movie trying to get casual audiences back into Dragon Ball, that, you know, grew up on the original dub, saw that Goku was Japanese Superman, and they sort of went with that. Now, like, I'm not saying that Battle of Gods wasn't like, you know, it wasn't full of like dub changes at all, and it was very accurate, but they did sort of ham it up, and, you know, they sort of made their performances way over the top, just a little bit, probably because, you know, they wanted to appeal to the casual fans and the, like the casual fans that grew up in the 90s, and the, you know, the fans that are kids that are watching Dragon Ball Kai. It sort of appeals to both markets. But yeah, it's very interesting, and I find it interesting that like Toriyama says that Toei sort of kind of ruined the character of Goku, made him more superhero-like. Like, if Toriyama heard, like, the dub version, bro, he'd flip out, bro.
I'm sure he would. I mean, we could have asked him. I think he was on Geekdom's stream the other day. But but the thing is, I feel like honestly, there's a lot of people who say sub dub, whatever, what have you, like which one's better and everything. I think the definite answer there is the sub is better, just because it is like the original interpretation of the series. But I never have an issue whether people have they have passion or just nostalgia for watching the dub and they just want to watch the dub. If that's your prerogative, that's fine for me. I feel like there's more than one way to love something, and just watching it in the dub, if you want to do that and that's just the natural way that you want to see that, that's fine. The sub is definitely something that is more unique and will kind of define who is probably the more bigger of the fans regardless. But I never had a problem with the interpretations one way or the other. What I would think is, I think Donnie and I did a video about this on my channel recently about how we expect Sean Schemmel to actually be portraying Goku throughout Dragon Ball Super. And it is a good point that we're going to be getting the dub sometime here soon, regardless of, we don't know yet, but we know we're going to get it eventually. And, it's not the same series as Z, and I think that's something that's going to kind of, I guess it's going to be something that really pushes the Funimation cast to their limits in terms of actually portraying these characters correctly and in a way that the American audience will like, because a lot of people who haven't watched the sub do not understand Goku's character in Dragon Ball Super, and they think that they've completely ruined his character, or they've changed it to a substantial degree and somewhat ruined him. And it's just not true. It's not true. I mean, if anything, the only reason Goku is acting the way he does in this series versus the way he acted in Super is because the way Super is going, even though they've been facing threat after threat after threat, there's been no substantial threat to actually threaten or force him to be serious, so he could act as his child self, and there's no reason for him to step up in a really serious manner. And that is something that I feel is, for the most part, it's one of those things that I think is amazing, because it has allowed Dragon Ball Super to kind of hark back to the original Dragon Ball days, while also maintaining the action of Dragon Ball Z. And at the same time, I feel like I said earlier, I don't know how the scripters or the Funimation cast is actually going to take this stuff and make it accessible to a domestic audience.
I mean, Sean Schemmel, he said in an interview when Kai was releasing, he was like, so Dragon Ball Kai and its awesome ratings prove that if you just leave the fucking dub alone, you don't fuck with anything, you don't make it Americanized, then it'll sell, because people want mature sort of sticking to the original. They want a close adaptation of the original, and that's what Kai was. And I think Sean Schemmel's spot on when he says, if you just leave it alone, if you don't Americanize anything, then you'll get a great product in the end. And that's what Kai was, and that's what Battle of Gods was. And I think Battle of Gods was more of a balanced movie in the dub. You had the goofy sort of Goku, the King Kai stuff, him talking to King Kai, that was very casual, goofy Goku, very comical. And then towards the end of the movie, he was pretty damn serious, especially with the I Will Not Let You Destroy My Worlds scene. That was excellently done, and that shows that Goku has a serious side, which we didn't really see in the sub version, because Do Not Destroy Destruction, that doesn't sound very serious. That sounds like playful Goku. So I think the dub strikes a great balance between serious and goofy Goku towards the the first and to the third act of the movie. I really enjoy that. But anyway, I think this video has gone on long enough. I think we've, said what we've sort of wanted to say. Mark, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in, like I said earlier, and what you were saying before this is, just because Z or Dragon Ball Kai works in the dub when they stick to the script. I mean, like I said, Super and Z are somewhat different stories. It's going to be really interesting to see how they do play off that, silliness versus seriousness in the dub, because they've started to basically meld those in a really nice way, like you said. And just considering the fact that, most of what's happened in Super thus far, basically the first 3 arcs are not necessarily dark in their own right, and there's not a whole lot of seriousness, but there's a bunch of silliness, everywhere. I wonder, that's my biggest question, is whether or not the domestic audience, whether it's in the States or, the European nations or something, who haven't seen this stuff before, whether they will actually appreciate it and consider it a worthy successor to basically Dragon Ball Z or even Dragon Ball GT in that sense. And it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm sure a lot of people will be covering it as it's, continuously put out there, and whether or not they feel like it's being adapted in the right way. But we don't know yet, and I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, because for the first time ever, I think, we're watching the sub first, and now that we have something to compare it to, because when we were watching the Z dub, we had nothing really to compare it to. We've never seen the Japanese version, so since we're getting the Japanese version first, we have something to compare it to, which is going to be very interesting to see. And yeah, I'm very excited. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Please go subscribe to Real to Real. Great theories, some of the best... No, fuck it, I'm going to say the best theories in the community about Super. He really, thinks hard about this stuff, and they're just great theories. Better writing than Super, to be honest.
It's more fan fiction, but that is one way or the other. In fact, before we leave, I just want everyone to go into the comment section below if you've gotten this far, and tell Nathan and I exactly what you want to see from Dragon Ball Super the dub. What is the most anticipated scene you want to see anybody do? What is, whether it be funny or action-packed or something. And I'll just share mine, maybe Nathan will share his. I want to see Goku versus Hit. It's going to be epic. I feel like that's something that they're going to actually just throw in the seriousness of it, and Goku going all out. Oh my god, I can't wait to see it.
That'll be great. I also can't wait for when Goku and Vegeta are training on Beerus's planet, and they have to sort of sort out his bed sheets. I wonder how they're going to portray that in the dub. I don't know, it's so goofy, and I cannot wait to see Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat, working together. Their chemistry is great, and I just cannot wait to see it. So please leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. I really want to hear, and Mark, we really want to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys next time. Bye.